Story 1. Don't fall for the trap that your life needs to be one long narrative that you should be building. Life is best when it's a bunch of happy moments that just happen to be connected. Don't try to make your life into a novel. Make it a book of poems. Story 2. Chris Rock said it best. Now, people tell you life is short. No, it's not. Life is long, especially if you make the wrong decisions. The point is, you've got time. Don't kill yourself trying to do it all now. Story 3. It's never too late to start again. All in my 20s, I thought I couldn't just restart my career, leave a useless boyfriend, or go back to school because I was already on a certain trajectory. I made my choices, and now I have to make the best of it. That's total nonsense. You have no idea how incredibly young you are and how much time you have to do whatever you want to do. When I figured this out, I found the man of my dreams, had a kid in my late 30s, and dropped my entire career in my late 40s. I started a new one at 50, and it's awesome. Oh my, I had no idea my post would be so inspirational or that so many people needed to read it. Thank you, everyone, for the kind words and support. I'm so excited for everyone taking a leap into the great unknown. You've got this. And if you are sad, upset, or frustrated with life, that's okay too. You have time and it will pass. You have no idea what comes next, and you have so much time to explore. I am still figuring things out. Story 4. Maintain your friendships. In 20 years, you will be so grateful for those people who saw you through marriages, children, illness, and health. People who will go on a trip with you, love your kids, and remember you as a young person. Friends are essential, but they require work. Don't be alone just because you don't want to be the person who reaches out to others. Story 5. When I was in college, I had the chance to go to Europe, but I passed because I had to work at a warehouse. I picked staying at a part-time warehouse job overseeing the world. When I finally went abroad in my 30s, it changed my perspective about everything and everyone. Go to another country that is far away and different from your own. Story 6. I'm 46, and here's what I know. 1. Money is important, but it's not the end-all, be-all. It will not listen to your problems or hug you when you need it. Watch your weight, your blood pressure, and do not smoke. 75% of my patients that have the most serious diagnoses have at least one of these factors. Comparison will rob you of joy. Be happy for others, but don't feel you need to be like them. Let go of the little things. Stress will kill you. Chase your dreams. Life goes by so fast. You don't want to be 80 years old and regretting not traveling, pursuing your passion, and so on. You cannot change someone. Whether a friend or a partner, their faults will not get better and you cannot rescue them. Don't waste your life on toxic people. Make a point of performing kind acts for others. It will greatly enrich your life. Now go get your life. Story 7. I was a raging alcoholic in my 20s and thought I would never recover from it. I never found a real job using my first degree or my master's. Part of it was because I was always drunk, part of it was the job market at the time. I went back to school in my 30s and found something I like a whole lot more. Now, I'm married, nearly 10 years sober, and have a great job. My point is, if you end up on the wrong path or don't like where you are, there's always time to turn around and change it. Too many people just assume they're stuck where they are and stuck with the issues they have. Story 8. When I was 22, an older gentleman asked me how old I was and then told me, "When you are twice that age, you'll be twice the man you are today." I almost considered it a slight in that moment, but time has proven him wise. Here I am, twice that age, and, in my humble estimation, twice the man I was then. I believe this chiefly because I have learned that kindness is not a weakness. Humility serves you better than pride, and cruelty is a fool's game. Story 9. It's not a race. Stop comparing yourself to others. Just because they did things sooner than you doesn't mean they're happier or better. Try to start good habits. It is a little rough at first, but in a few years it will be second nature. Do this with things like cooking, cleaning, saving money, and self-care. It is okay to not like someone. It is also okay to have someone not like you. People are going to not like you for no reason. That is okay. It's a them issue and not a you issue. Don't be unkind to everyone and give them a reason to dislike you. But also know that you are under no obligation to put up with someone else's bad friendship. There is no shame in seeing a mental health professional. Story 10. Do not put yourself in ridiculous amounts of debt trying to portray a certain image. You will spend your entire life trying to get out of the hole you dug, or you will have to declare bankruptcy. Set aside enough money to cover 3 to 6 months of expenses for emergencies, just like now. Moreover, save now for your retirement years. It does not require much, and if you have it taken directly from your paycheck, you will not be inclined to not pay yourself first. Take care of your body. Exercise to maintain a healthy weight and good cardiovascular health. As you get older, it is much harder to maintain these. Enjoy the days of your youth without going overboard. There is nothing wrong with having a good time, yet if you are always waking up wondering what happened last night, why you cannot remember how you spent so much money, or you always have a hangover, you should tone it down a bit. Do not take advice or criticism as a personal attack. Most times, the people who care about you have observed behavior in you which is off-putting, does not reflect who you really are or could be, or would make you a more rounded person. Story 11. The biggest regret my dad has was not starting some sort of savings for retirement when he was in his 20s. He didn't start putting money into his 401k until he was 30 or so. If you don't have access to a 401k, look into getting an individual retirement account or something you can just chip something into every week or month. Story 12. This whole thread is wholesome as can be. I'm 32, but I wish I would have spent more of my 20s listening to advice from slightly older people rather than trying to prove that I could figure it out on my own. Imagine how much energy I could have saved. Story 13. Figure out what is important to you in life. A surprising number of people never do this. The sooner you do, the better off you will be. It is important to me to be able to take care of myself and have enough left over to support those I love. If I am doing that, it is hard to feel down, be worried, or care what other people think of me. I am still going to pursue my career and other interests. I just do not have anything emotionally riding on their successes, at least not in relation to my own sense of self-worth. I am not doing a fun job or an inspiring job. I am doing one that pays the most for the least work. For me, that's okay because with the excess time, I can spend it with people I love. With the extra money, I can help pay for my friends who did not get to go to college to do it now. I can take time off at a moment's notice to fly across the country and help in a family emergency. There is the phrase, live so God can use you. I am not religious, but I do value the idea of setting your life up so that when an opportunity to do something you care about arises, you are in a position to do it. Figure out what you want for yourself and what you want for others. It will make planning and achieving it easier. Edit. As many people are asking me what I do, I work in technology, probably unsurprisingly. I basically decided to get a degree in mathematics instead of English because one had much better job prospects. Though I do like analytics and solution architecture and all that jazz, I would definitely use that time to read the Iliad for the 4th time if it paid the same. Also, to be clear, I am not advocating for this path, just that it is important to understand the path you want and make sure you are on it. It is just as important to not work a job you hate, to make time for your passions. I have worked nearly 30 jobs in my life with kids, construction, lumber yards, as a tour guide, in nursing homes, you name it. I am good at compartmentalizing and just really do not mind what I work on. So getting the most return on my work is a clear metric to focus on. If I derived a lot of my sanity and sense of satisfaction from my job, I would 100% work with kids or in education instead. Story 14. You are never too old or too deep into something to just start over. If you are not happy, do something else. I have read about people taking up marathons at 50. For me, every day is potential for a new start. Do not like how I felt yesterday? Then I guess I am doing something different today. I am 50 now. So much left to do and so much time to do it. Story 15. I am 40. This is my input. Everyone is focused on themselves to care too much about their opinion of you. So forget what they think. Social media is only an illusion. Zero debt is an amazing feeling. Think twice before dropping that down payment on that fully loaded 2020 dream car that offers nothing but looks and depreciates in value quickly. Falling out of love is perhaps more powerful than falling in love. Use up all of your vacation time and sick time at work. Do not lose sight of the hobbies you enjoyed as a child. They will help you live as you grow older. Family is not necessarily blood, but instead who you would bleed for. There are just as many benefits to being a night owl as there are to being an early bird. Forgive yourself first before forgiving others. 10. Do not be a doormat in submission, but hold the door open in kindness. Story 16. Go have an adventure of a lifetime. Don't put it off. Make plans for your money. Stay out of debt. You don't need that new car, watch, or handbag. Material items are not worth your sanity. Have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Don't waste time on anyone who disrespects you. Have a backbone, but don't be rude. Not everything needs your reaction. Find someone with whom you can spend endless time. Talk about ideas, not people. Above all, forget what anyone thinks. I'll be 41 this year. Story 17. Calm down. Seriously, I panicked my way through my 20s. When things go wrong, stay calm and think logically. Act like the person you want to be. Story 18. I am 40 years old, and I have 3 pieces of advice for anyone in their 20s. Accept that perfection doesn't exist. Your relationships will have problems, your car will break down. Someone else will always have a better phone, a newer car, or a bigger house than you, no matter where on the social ladder you stand. Constantly chasing perfection will keep you permanently stressed. That doesn't mean you should not try to better your life. Just know that if you expect perfection, you will never be satisfied. Pay attention to your diet and health. I have been working out at least 4 times per week since my mid-20s. I am fitter, healthier, and look younger than almost everyone else my age. Don't stop doing the things you love. Even though I have a wife, kids, and a job, I still make time to play video games, draw, write stories, read comics, play basketball, and listen to music. There is no reason to become a miserable old person. Wow, this has blown up way more than I expected. Thanks for the awards, everyone. It's nice to know my advice can be useful to others. So, quite a few people have asked how I find time to fit in all these hobbies. As I said, I have to make the time. Apart from working out, which I do at 6 in the morning before everyone else wakes up, I'm not doing these things every day. I only game on the weekend if I get the chance. I read ebooks on my phone when I'm killing time in the day. I may buy a comic 2 to 3 times a year, and I can usually find a few hours in the week to draw. I still make time to chill out with my wife in the evenings and do things with the kids. I just fit my hobbies in between them. I also don't watch much television or go out, but that's just me. Story 19. If you aren't sure you want kids, make sure you are sure before you have them. I dodged a couple of bullets over the years and don't have any kids. I see and hear all the difficulties other people have to go through, and I don't think I could handle that level of stress in my life. I'm very glad to be childless. Of course, some people love kids and should have lots of them. That's just not me, and it might not be you too. Story 20. 70. Born and living in Australia. Very middle class all my life, but never a landowner. Always renting, generally very happy and satisfied. No need to be materialistic if you live in a fair and civilized nation. No need to marry, nor have children. No need to prove yourself to anyone. Just accumulate many skills and talents which will not go out of fashion. In my case, science studies, incomplete Bachelor of Science, counseling and group work, many kinds, business and administrative skills, technology, including many academic and computer areas. Happily married, boringly normal, for the last 25 years. Internet, technology, politics, and so on are so interesting and thrilling. Story 21. I'm financially happy, so my advice in this regard is to not use your credit card unless you are 100% sure you can pay it off that month and it's not a burden. Don't go into debt. I'm also happy with my children, who are polite, intelligent, and happy themselves. My advice there is to always be true to your word with them, and always say please and thank you. Story 22. Go to therapy. Figure out what your insecurities are, why you have them, and how to deal with them so that they don't define the rest of your life. Talk about your issues from childhood and your teen years. Yes, everyone has issues even in their 20s. If you don't do it now, you will make decisions based on or driven by those issues, and that will put you on a path you may not like. Story 23. Wear sunscreen. If I could offer you only one tip for the future, sunscreen would be it. The long-term benefits of sunscreen have been proved by scientists, whereas the rest of my advice has no basis more reliable than my own experience. I will dispense this advice now. Enjoy the power and beauty of your youth. You will not understand the power and beauty of your youth until they've faded. But trust me, in 20 years, you'll look back at photos of yourself and recall in a way you can't grasp now how much possibility lay before you and how fabulous you really looked. You are not as fat as you imagine. Don't worry about the future. Or worry, but know that worrying is as effective as trying to solve an algebra equation by chewing bubble gum. The real troubles in your life are apt to be things that never crossed your worried mind. The kind that blindside you at 4 p.m. on some idle Tuesday. Do one thing every day that scares you. Sing. Don't be reckless with other people's hearts. Don't put up with people who are reckless with yours. Floss. Don't waste your time on jealousy. Sometimes you're ahead, sometimes you're behind. The race is long and, in the end, it's only with yourself. Remember compliments you receive. Forget the insults. If you succeed in doing this, tell me how. Keep your old love letters. Throw away your old bank statements. Stretch. Don't feel guilty if you don't know what you want to do with your life. The most interesting people I know didn't know at 22 what they wanted to do with their lives. Some of the most interesting 40-year-olds I know still don't. Get plenty of calcium. Be kind to your knees. You'll miss them when they're gone. Maybe you'll marry, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll have children, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll divorce at 40. Maybe you'll dance the funky chicken on your 75th wedding anniversary. Whatever you do, don't congratulate yourself too much, or berate yourself either. Your choices are half chance. So are everybody else's. Enjoy your body. Use it every way you can. Don't be afraid of it or of what other people think of it. It's the greatest instrument you'll ever own. Dance even if you have nowhere to do it but your living room. Read the directions even if you don't follow them. Do not read beauty magazines. They will only make you feel ugly. Get to know your parents. You never know when they'll be gone for good. Be nice to your siblings. They're your best link to your past and the people most likely to stick with you in the future. Understand that friends come and go, but with a precious few you should hold on. Work hard to bridge the gaps in geography and lifestyle because the older you get, the more you need the people who knew you when you were young. Live in New York City once, but leave before it makes you hard. Live in Northern California once, but leave before it makes you soft. Travel. Accept certain truths. Prices will rise. Politicians will stray. You too will get old. And when you do, you'll fantasize that when you were young, prices were reasonable, politicians were noble, and children respected their elders. Respect your elders. Don't expect anyone else to support you. Maybe you have a trust fund. Maybe you'll have a wealthy spouse. But you never know when either one might run out.